of this retreat, so to say. Are you very, very comfortable with those who are taking part in the retreat?
Mr. Leo, my first remark will be that it was not inclusive. It was not inclusive. Last year, virtual conference, like I said, it was relatively inclusive. But for the retreat, where we have to foster more trust and accountability among ourselves, the degree of inclusiveness reduced. When I went to the list of the stakeholders invited and the organizations they are representing, I felt that, but why are actors of many political parties from this part of the restive regions not invited? I do not see SDF, I do not see PAP, I do not see CPP. So I was wondering, why would someone like Punji, Kawala, myself, Jack Dennis, Dr. Munsu, so many other people that I was expecting to see them there, they were not there. So at the level of the inclusiveness, that is why I said there is a question mark. Even at the level of media personalities, because I believe that some TV stations like My Media Prime, like some other TV stations, they have a voice to say as to the content they diffuse, the programs they organize to educate people. There are so many people who rely on these TV programs to be informed about what is happening. And it is the same TV station and channels and programs that we are using to communicate, to debate, to share ideas, to explore and implore into the approaching events, happenings by our contributions and debates. So it is also important for the people who are managing these local media outlets to be part of anything that is to bring everyone on board. Because at this point, everybody have a say. There is no single person who can claim to have the mandate of the people of Southern Cameroon. And if we are going to do something that at least 80% of the Southern Cameroonians will be comfortable with, there should be at least 90% of representation from all organizations of Southern Cameroon, be it legitimate or illegitimate, be it legal or illegal, Fabrice, be it in the country or out of the country.
Fabrice, but you talked about the fact that almost 40,000 persons took part in the virtual meeting that took place, organized by the Coalition for Dialogue and Negotiation last year. But do you also understand that this time around it has to do with logistics, paying flight tickets, hosting persons in hotels, amongst others?
Yes, that is a problem. That is not a problem. In this 2021, we have seen organizations in Yaoundé that sponsored the coming together of 1,500 women in Yaoundé, Women Peace Convention. Where did the logistics come from? I believe the same organizations that are sponsoring those kind of meetings could sponsor it. Coalition for Dialogue and Negotiation is made up of top-level ambassadors and 20 organizations that are partner to the CDN. 20 organizations. We are not talking of micro-local organizations. We are talking of multi-level organizations that have the capacity to mobilize funds. I don't think logistics is a problem. Before the COVID-19 2020 came around March, that made it difficult for travelers. The first virtual conference that was held was actually something that was supposed to be physical meeting. It was supposed to be a physical meeting in the US at the initial stage. So there is a lot for us to understand. And all the participants of last year's virtual conference had their email and contact details taken by the CDN. But information about this retreat was given in a very in a very funny way. It is true that if one last people who are at the organizing, you will not. you will not have gotten information about the organization. So that's why I criticize the inclusiveness of this particular organization. That I am encouraging the initiative.
Yes, but aside the fact that not everybody is included in the retreat, like yourself, the SDF, the CPP, amongst others, the media, we are not also there. But why is this retreat raising a lot of dust, dissenting voices amongst the same persons who are seemingly seeking the same objective?
Yes, Mr. Leo. One other aspect of this retreat is that I had said it and I will still say it. In conflict situations, the PhD holders, the ambassadors, and the big diplomats not think that they have the monopoly of knowledge and they master the situation by designing a very beautiful website and putting everything in the category of conflict management, humanitarian this and that. No. In conflict situation, consultation is very important. One of the aspects is the people on ground are playing a lesser role to the organization of such a retreat than the people in the diaspora. That is one other aspect. And the people in the diaspora have the flexibility to do these things in a more comfortable way than us on the ground. What is the problem here? The problem here is that the more people come from the ground, from the country, the more it will help to solve and facilitate the problem. And the more the participants are from the diaspora, the lesser it will help us to yield the fruits. And one other aspect, if you look at people who are criticizing the CDN and rubbishing it after they have been invited to participate, I will say it is out of bad faith. Mr. Leo, to build trust, accountability, and a pathway of having this conflict ended, whether we like it or not, whether somebody is separatist, federalist, or whatever opinion he or she holds, we must first of all accept our differences, accept to take our opinions. You can take somebody's everything, but not the person's will. Even in conflict, people have their convictions and their will. Some people should not think that they are going to force other people to accept their ideology. And it is not by hate, it is not by threat, it is not by propaganda. It should be by generating a degree of love to say, okay, this is this man's point of view, this is my own point of view. But we must agree in order to forge ahead together. So this is what we are trying to say. It is true, we are saying the CDN should upgrade on how to better organize these conferences, but we are telling people not to spread hate about it, not to be doing the kind of negative propaganda sabotage about it. We remain positive and we have to be civil enough, we have to be human, we have to be humane, we have to know that the suffering of our people is enough and it is time for us to look for possible means of solving